Alright, trying something new. As you can see, I have both of my hands out here and the camera is stationary. So, this should be a much nicer video than my previous videos. Small steps. Still haven't gotten the lighting perfect, but I do have the stand now, so we can do this a little bit more properly. Anyways, I have a new Eaglemoss starship. This one I hadn't intended to get. Kind of a spur of the moment type thing. What we have here, this would be the Niagara class. Just another one of those more obscure type starships. Some of my favorites, actually. I think I mentioned before I would really like to have a collection that featured all of the like obscure Wolf 359 type ships. But here we go. The Niagara class. Seems like it's actually a pretty good sized ship when you think about it. Comparisons I've seen online actually put it pretty near the Ambassador class. At least the hull seems to match the Ambassador class. Oh yeah, here we go. The Niagara class had 3 warp nacelles and it shared parts found on both the Galaxy and Ambassador classes. I believe this was... I don't want to sit here and read too much, but I do believe this was one of the wrecked ships found in Wolf 359. Magazine seems to do some comparisons between the Galaxy and Ambassador. Pretty nice pictures here, actually. I'm going to enjoy reading through this later. But, oh, maybe you guys would like to check that out. That's the actual physical model there with the damage done. Yep, pretty cool, actually. I always thought that ships like that, and now this is just about the next generation, so let's move on. I always thought the ships like the Niagara, the Cheyenne, the, not the Oberth, but the Niagara, Cheyenne, New Orleans class, all those different ships deserved more screen time. In fact, if they weren't just used as random wreckage in Wolf 359 and such, they should have been featured as like common ships throughout the next generation. Instead, we pretty much got the Excelsior and Miranda all the time, which, you know, love the Excelsior, but still, variety would have been nice, especially because there should have been hundreds of these different classes of ship roaming around in that era. There it is in the plastic. Let's see, I don't want to grab it by the nacelles. There's the stand. Take a look at the ship, though. Oh yeah, this is going to be much easier to manipulate the ships and take a look at them. That is really cool, actually. I like this a lot. Let's get some close-up here. If I can get it to focus. I don't know where... There we go. USS Princeton, NCC 59804. I took a look at this through the packaging, and the windows seem pretty darn good. They are all printed, it seems. Stay focused. And the alignment's really good. There's a good variety of, you know, the on and off lights, the black and white. The escape pods are texture. The phaser strips, you can actually see there with the light. Those are texture, and they seem to be aligned pretty well. Let's look at the bottom. That's interesting. I like, you know, this ship could have been pretty cool upside down, actually. There it is. Head on. Let's see. Everything looks pretty well aligned. That bottom nacelle is a little, just a little bit crooked, but nothing major there. I can live with that. The top ones there look pretty good. Great detail on that. I didn't see that the backlighting. You can see the translucent pieces here. Unfortunately, the deflector dish is not a translucent piece, but it looks good enough. All right, let's take a look. Got the little printing here. very little printing. God, I can't even see that off camera. Very small detail. Some good detail there on the bridge module. Paintwork back here is good. Yeah, you got your RCS thrusters there on the nacelles, top and bottom. Oh man, yeah, you can see that definitely a little bit worse on the back angle there, but again, once it's on the stand, you won't see that that bottom nacelle as much, and it's not as big a deal, but it would be nice to have it straighter. Nothing can be perfect though. But yeah, we got good Aztecing, really good, a lot of these random details on the nacelles and the body of the ship here that, I don't know, you wouldn't expect on a ship at this scale, I think, but pretty cool. Even, is that a phaser strip? Possibly supposed to be one that's printed on. Yeah, I don't know, it looks pretty good. I like it. It's an interesting, I hadn't paid a whole lot of attention to this class of ship previously. So I was buying a bunch of other stuff, some anime Blu-rays on Amazon, and I saw this, just threw it in the cart, and I'm glad I did. Kind of one of the, like I said, one of those more random, obscure classes of ship, but I like those. I would actually, one of these days, would really like to get the Steam Runner for my collection, and I would be pretty close to finishing my first Contact collection, but Steam Runner is very expensive or never available, so yeah, the windows on the hull look pretty good too. The lines are good. This ship would, this would, the ship would actually look really cool without the third nacelle, but you know, they had to do some interesting random designs for the background pieces that didn't look too Enterprise-like, you know, because really that's what this would look like. It would look like another form of the Enterprise. So, but yeah, I like it. I'm going to get it on the stand real quick. And, whoops. There it is on the stand. Make sure it's secure. Looks like it can fall off fairly easy. And then, yeah, it does actually. It doesn't really stay on there too secure. Gotta be careful with that one. Yep, just kind of falls right out. I don't want to press too hard on it to get it stuck, but that's a little better. And you kind of push it back into the real corners there. Anyways, so there is the Niagara class USS Princeton. And then I'm going to bring in, this is Sabre class. And this is the Norway. I did not do unboxings for these because I had owned them before I did unboxings. So, see, they're all kind of similar in scale. The Norway and Niagara, pretty close there. So it's kind of funny because you look at these on the shelf and you see them in the pictures and you don't think that they're all that big. You know, I mean, I guess the Sabre is actually fairly small when you look at it, but honestly, they're pretty good size, especially for like a die-cast model, and one that is like fully painted and assembled, and sometimes has these nice translucent pieces. There's a lot of detail on here. I think many Eaglemoss fans take for granted. I watch other videos, and I watch them mostly to see like, okay, how are these people doing reviews or unboxings? And I honestly don't like a lot of their videos because they sit there and they nitpick so much of these things, and like each one of these, like this one here was like $22. This was $20, I believe, and I think actually no, the Sabre was about $20, and I got the Norway for about 14 on Amazon at one point. even if I paid full price, $25 for every single one of these, they're totally worth it. Like if you pay $20 for a model kit, yeah, you could get something that's like larger in scale, but you're gonna have to uh, assemble it, like do all the paint work. You're gonna have to assemble it, gluing, all that kind of stuff, um, and then just do all the tiny details and things. I don't know. I just think that it's so worth it when you can get something like this that has so many details, so much paint work done, um, and not have to do the work yourself. That's what you're paying for. And I mean, look at this. I mean, this is a pretty good model here, the Norway. And I know some have issues, but again, we're talking about something you did not have to do yourself. You have a model starship that you can now set up on your desk or shelf and display and be like, yeah, this is a cool ship from Star Trek, and you didn't have to do anything but buy it. So I'm not gonna sit here and nitpick the way many people do, um, where they're like little things like, okay, the warp nacelle is a little crooked, but again, I didn't have to do it. $24, $23. Well, look at this. I have a starship from Star Trek that looks like the real deal. Nice translucent warp nacelles and the paintwork and all this detailing. I didn't have to do that work. So I appreciate it. That's why I spend the money on them. And they're not, even if they're not like the largest models ever. Anyways, just a little bit of a side rant there about what I've seen from the community of people who collect these things. I'm not talking bad about anybody, but I'm just saying I feel like people nitpick a lot. And to me, I look at this, I think this is a pretty awesome thing to have here, considering when I was a kid, the best thing I had available to me was the micro machines. And those were not, always the best quality, or best paint work or whatever. And they were, like this big. So, anyways, that's the unboxing of the Niagara class. I don't know, I can't say that correctly. USS Princeton.